I made my first AI video 5-6 years ago discussing what AI was, and at the time ChatGPT didn't exist, so nobody really watched it, and I wanted to remake it now that AI has become a thing. And if you're somebody who's afraid of AI or being forced to use it, then this video will really benefit you. I'm here in my office shooting this raw, right? Just like about every AI video nowadays is just being filmed from some tech guy's webcam. And being able to teach psychologists and doctors, even crypto millionaires and other professionals, how the subconscious mind works, how your brain works. I wanted to really make this video because I feel like it can benefit a lot of you guys. And the first thing that one of my mentors, Bob Proctor, would say a while ago that really instilled in my brain and my mind was that a lot of people go throughout their day reacting, right? It's like a chicken with their head cut off. There's no responding, right? He taught me that you can either, when you have a situation in life, you can either stop and respond, or you're just going to react like a chicken with its head cut off. Now, to me, that is the main problem or issue, right? A lot of people want to just blame AI for making society, you know, a dumber or more stupid society. However, I feel like these issues were already being discussed and already existed, and something that if you can actually learn, right? If we can actually stop and think and decide how we're going to respond to situations through mindfulness, then the whole issue of AI itself, right, which is more of an indirect issue, the main issue here is that so much of society, right, never was taught in school, right, how to manage their emotions, how to actually be mindful of their thoughts, and how to actually respond to situations, right? And this leads to the next, right, the next thing to really think about here, or to really understand about AI, is once more is something that's more direct, which is thinking outside the box, right? We've all heard the quote in English, thinking outside the box, right? Now the problem here, as I just mentioned, is a lot of people were never really taught how to think. And this is why I feel like, you know, I was talking with my sister, who's also a millennial, and I've talked to other millennials, that our generation is the first generation to really blow up with the whole meditation and yoga movement, right? Because generations before us never really were taught how to meditate. We're never really taught how to get into, you know, a higher state of consciousness. Now, the word consciousness, a lot of people hear that and they start to think, oh, that's just a bunch of spiritual nonsense. When in reality, right, as I mentioned, where we're at in 2026, you know, a lot has changed, right? We have professors around the world, right, physicists that are studying conscious. And my home state, Arizona, we actually have a professor, right, by the name of Stuart Hanneroff, who actually has an entire project going on at a university, right, a college level university, where he studies consciousness, and he has an actual Nobel Prize winner who works alongside him. Let me repeat that, right? Consciousness in 2026 is no longer just some spiritual yogi stuff, right? This is something being studied by Nobel Prize winning physicists and other professors in universities now. And that's the whole thing, right? And if I could just stop filming this video right now and say that AI will never have, or doesn't have, a consciousness, which is why we can conclude it's just a tool. It's just an assistant, right? The NVIDIA CEO who creates AI chips, right? The trillionaire, right? We've all seen him, right? The guy with the glasses and the gray hair, and the CEO of NVIDIA, right? He points out that he will never fire his engineers and replace them with AI, even though he creates AI chips, because he, quote unquote, says that AI is a powerful assistant, right? The key word is assistant, and that you have now a $12 assistant, quote unquote, right? AI CEO quoting the value of AI. He says you have a $12-15 assistant that can help the engineer, right, propel their productivity, how efficient they work, right? Because even the AI CEO understands, right, this word consciousness very well, or else he wouldn't have ever become the CEO, right, or would have never built $1 trillion company. So in this video, right, I'm not criticizing AI, or I'm not criticizing AI for making people more stupid. What I'm doing is inviting you guys, right, inviting people to really start learning how to meditate, really start learning how to become in tune with their emotions, right? There's so many videos, so many tools out there now on YouTube, applications that you can meditate daily, you can, right, learn how to breathe, how to become in tune and start responding, like Bob Proctor said, instead of reacting. And this leads me to the next point, right, which is quality, right? AI right, we have all these AI agents, right, sales AI agents, customer service AI agents that are popping up, but the issue becomes quality, right? Because you need time to train AIs to actually work, right, or do the job that you want it to do. It needs to learn and continuously keep learning until it can finally operate. Now, what companies are learning now is that the cost to run the AIs and actually have them learn is more expensive than just having an actual person do it, and that the AIs are going to end up creating more problems in the long run that can lead to even greater losses. And not only that, but the computing power to run AI, right, with all these tokens, companies are starting to realize that it costs even more for all of these tokens than it would be to just not use AI at all. And companies are also learning, and a lot of business owners, right? Alex, who's one of the top YouTube business gurus, or whatever you want to call him, just released a video on this, and he was discussing how, right, AI and all of the entrepreneurs, right, that he talks to every day, and business owners, they all agree that AI doesn't make you more money, right? It's not a direct line. Once more, AI does not make you directly more money, because there's not a consciousness right there. Now, what it can do is it can help you make money more efficiently and sometimes faster if you consciously apply it the right way. But AI in itself cannot just make you millions of dollars all of a sudden, or just make you more money, right? Now, can it make you right? You are the direct line, right? AI is indirect. Can it make you money faster, or help you make money faster, or help you make money more efficiently? Yes. But with that being said, any business owner that's ever built a successful business will tell you that itself can be a problem when you start you start growing too fast, and you don't have the structure or the infrastructure to actually handle that growth, right? It's like shooting yourself in the foot if you're not prepared, which is the whole issue there. Now, going back, stepping away from the business and the corporate world, right, and your work, going back to thinking outside the box, right? I learned as a subliminal creator, or as a writer, that AI is great for creating a starting point sometimes, right? But it will never have the ability to create original ideas, since AI, what it does is it draws from all of the existing data, all of the existing articles and publications that are out there, right? That's where it draws its information, right? It has the ability to process through all of this information, all of the publications that are out there, but it doesn't have the ability to come up with an original idea, because there's no imagination, right? Once again, Bob Proctor used to always talk about imagination, and really just stopping and imagining that everything around us, our phones, this camera that I'm shooting this video on, the phone or computer, TV that you're watching this video on, was once in somebody's imagination. Now, if somebody were to tell AI, just create me, a billion-dollar, technological device, there would be no originality, right? It would still just be drawing on ideas that existed, or like this person came up with this idea. Maybe you can actually, follow through and copy their idea. But if we were to go back in time, it would never come up with the idea of the camera. And even if it did, it wouldn't have the information on how to actually make the camera, if that makes sense, right? There's no imagination, and then there's no consciousness or creativity. So, for example, I made a subliminal when I first started that was called the love cell, right? It was this idea of making a brand new cell that had never been created before. Now, that required, right, like I said, imagination, creativity, and all of the other things that AI doesn't have, which is why, once more, it becomes a tool that can assist, right? It could assist me in making the love cell, but the idea itself would have to, right, come from me, the original idea, right? And think about it like a pizza, right? If you have a pizza, or you have a pizza box and you want to create a completely original pizza that's never been done before, you can ask AI. And AI might tell you that, hey, you know, you can combine pepperoni and these ingredients, you know, to make this kind of flavored pizza. Or if you want to, you know, a sweet pizza, this is what you want to do, and it's never been done before. I don't see it on any menus around the world. Or if you want to make a more, you know, spicy or meaty pizza, you can combine these ingredients, and I don't see it on any menus in the world. Now, we as humans, we come in with our imagination and our creativity, right? And we can really meditate on a conscious level. Once more, the keyword is conscious. And say that, what if, you know, I took the pizza and instead of using, you know, flour, I used, you know, something else. Or what if we were to actually use flowers on pizza? And people are like, flowers, right? That's not something that AI would ever do. But there's actually chefs right around the world that actually, there is a chef, right, very specific chef that's won a lot of awards that she puts flowers on her pizzas and they taste delicious. And this is called thinking outside the box, or even living outside the box. Now, but what that means is it's not really thinking, it's creativity, right? Using creativity to go outside the box. And AI being a tool is confined to that box, if that makes sense, right? And it can take things within the box and rearrange them in new ways that haven't been done before, right? But you, as the actual direct line or the consciousness, is what's directing that tool. And this goes full circle, right? It goes full circle to my original point that we were discussing, is that the real issue here is that we have so much of society that is still just learning to meditate, still just learning how to be mindful of their emotions, be mindful of their thoughts, right, throughout the day. And really learning how to actually think, right? Not like Bob Proctor said, just reacting or just knowing that 5 + 5 is 10, but really being able to think. And now, you know, that we have AI coming in, a lot of people are freaking out, and also a lot of these same people are maybe overhyping the potential and the right, the limitations of what AI can really do without a conscious, right, and being a tool. So this video, as I said, is to invite people to learn how to meditate, to learn how to be mindful, right? There's so many tools, so many videos out there where you can actually learn how to really start consciously, right? Consciously living and making conscious decisions throughout the day. And the opposite, right? And it's like fast food, right? It's kind of like fast food if you think about it. When fast food came out, it was like this quick fix, right? For people that didn't have, or told themselves they didn't have the time to always cook, right? Every single day, and they just started eating fast food every lunch, every single dinner. And fast food is still here. And we all know the side effects of eating fast food for every single lunch and dinner is going to be, you're going to get all this long list of health effects, right? And AI is kind of the same way, right? We have all these people that were never really taught how to consciously think for themselves, or how to really be mindful of their thoughts, how to actually imagine, right, and create different things, right, to try different things. And ultimately AI comes along, and now any small little problem or small little issue, small decision in their life, to even the big decisions, right, AI comes in. And we have college kids now graduating from universities that used AI to graduate, and now they have no idea how to actually do the job they're doing. And this is, like I said, the whole fast food epidemic, but from a psychology perspective, right? So will fast food ever go away? No. Is AI ever going to go away? No. But we will have to start, and I feel like there's going to be more videos coming out besides just Alex's and others lately that are offering the other perspective, that are offering the other choice that is not fast food, right? And by the end of this video, you guys have a new perspective, and I feel like a lot of people maybe who are afraid of AI have a different perspective, a different choice, a different option. And people who are just starting to learn AI, right, don't waste their time going down the path of expecting it to make them millions of dollars, replacing all of their employees, and just being this superhero conscious Superman or conscious Batman that's gonna just do everything. Have a great day, guys.